What is up? Welcome back to another video. I'm out here driving. I've got the camera set up in a way that I'm not holding it. Both hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Everything is very safe. I promise you this. But if you've driven or spent any time in Portland, you'll know it takes roughly about 20-25 minutes to just get anywhere. Whether that's 2 miles down the road or 20, you're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes. And that's kind of what we're facing now. So I thought I would just knock out two birds with one little drive here. I would get home, and I would also spend this time recording a video. Because, as you know, Mondays, news videos usually about 20-25 minutes long. So I just thought the stars aligned. More importantly, this is the last Monday of the year. It is, in fact, the day before, or 2 days before, the new year. So I thought I would do a little bit more of a ceremonial news video and roll out what I'm going to be calling the official Bronco Awards. Now, this is the first year I'm doing them, and there's really no significance or importance to them other than the fact that I'm making a video about it. So they're the most important awards for the film photography community. And I've got a few categories. We'll go over those. I will list my selections for those categories. And if you're wondering, what do the winners of the Bronco Awards get? The answer, of course, is a ceremonial trophy, which will be sent in the mail to the participating parties. So they can, be on the lookout for that. Before we get into the video, though, I want to give a quick shout out to the members of the channel, the Bronco Buddies, whose lovely names are listed around me. I would normally do the hand thing, but, 10 and 2. So just imagine me doing the hand thing. Their names are here. I appreciate them very much. Remember, if you join the channel, you support me, support the work that I do. You get early access to some videos, exclusive access to other videos, and this once a week shout out as well. Now, I've got a whole lot of perks ready to roll out in the new year. So if you want to participate and be a part of that, join the channel so you don't miss out. And at the very least, like the video if you enjoy it, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that as well. The first one that we're going to roll out, it's going to be a bit of a negative one, okay? And that's the worst film camera of the year. This one's a bit tricky because it's a film camera I've not shot with. So I'm pretty much going based off of optics alone. But I feel like once I give my selection, it will be justified and understandable. And the award winner for the worst film camera goes to the Nana 35mm from Film Never Die. Now, this one, like I mentioned, is tricky, and I'm not trying to diminish Film Never Die's hard work, alleged hard work, if indeed any hard work was involved. I'm not trying to take pot shots over here, but what I will say is I tried to reach out to them to get an understanding of the project, tried to see if it was indeed just an AliExpress, Alibaba scam that they, glued metal plates onto a plastic body, as a lot of people were insinuating. I don't know myself. Looking at the product, it looks terrible though. I think that alone is enough. But on top of that, there's nothing that separates it from the Kodak M35 reusable disposable system that's $17, except for the $230 price tag of the Nana 35mm. So I have a hard time negotiating that price, even if it is metal build. The only other separation that I can think of is if there's a motorized take-up spool. So as opposed to the Kodak 35 and other similar reusable disposables where you have to use your thumb. If there is a motor, then obviously that's a big difference. But I still don't think that that's enough to necessitate or to rationalize that incredibly heavy price tag. It's still a mostly plastic camera with a fixed lens that's also plastic and very, very little usability for $230, which is the price that you could buy a fully serviced Pentax K1000 or something of that variety. Also, they said that it was designed after the Contax T2. And I guess, if you close your eyes, right? If you, I'm driving. I'm about to come up to a stoplight here, though. So if you close your eyes, right? Do this with me. Practice it with me. If you close your eyes and you visualize what a Contax T2 looks like, right? And you keep your eyes closed than the Nano 35mm spitting image of a Contax T2. However, when you open your eyes or when you feel the camera, I'd imagine that happy little memory that you have fades away pretty quickly. So yeah, that's why that's the winner. It's on the list. There wasn't a lot of competition this year, I'll be honest, but it's definitely the winner. So cool. Congrats to them. They've got an award coming in the mail. Moving on, we've got the Most Improved Award. Now, this award typically would go to a camera system or something that I started the year off with low expectations of, and then over time, gradually, it proved me wrong, showed me the error of my ways. Things that would fit in this category really nicely would be something like the Nikon EM, the Canon T70. Cameras I shot this year, and I actually kind of enjoyed the experience. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but it really reframed my perspective from this is a terrible camera that nobody should buy to I could see where somebody could use this camera and it's not the worst thing I've ever shot in the world. However, the award isn't going to either one of those cameras. It's actually going to film. And that film specifically is Kodak ProImage 100. Now, I'm choosing ProImage 100 because that is a film stock that I thought about absolutely not at all up until this year, when Freestyle Photo was running a pretty insane deal on it. A Pro Pack, which is 5 rolls, was about $40 or something to that effect, meaning it just made so much sense to get 5 rolls of film for that price point. So I went for it, and I've really not had to look back since. It has been something that I've kept in stock regularly, something that I've really enjoyed shooting with, and just in terms of like an affordable color film in 35mm, it's everything you could really hope for and more. It's really turned my mind around on it. I have plenty of ProImage 100 on hand, and I genuinely look forward to shooting with it more in the future. So it's not the perfect film. The detail isn't the best in the world, and the colors can be muted at times, but there is enough latitude for some editing to be done to the images. There's enough there that you can really play with. And for the price point that it's at, I really have a hard time complaining about it. So definitely Most Improved, from not thinking about it at all to something I'm excited about. It had to be on the list. The next one is for my least favorite film of the year. And if you stayed up to date on the channel, this one will not come as too much of a surprise to you. I've made no bones about it, but I'm not a big fan of Filmotech and their products. And that hurts me because at first I really was. I really did want to love Orwo, and I love their black and white film. So I was like, color film by them, this is a dream come true, right? Nightmare. It's a nightmare. And more specifically, not the Orwo NC400, NC500. Those I'm not a big fan of. But the real winner here for the worst film of the year, my least favorite, the one that just irked me so much, was Ilfocolor, the vintage tones or whatever it was called. The reason why this one wins out over the other two, I know that this was a film that's been sold in Europe and it's been sold in their like disposable systems for quite some time. But this is the first time it was sold in America as just like a 35mm cartridge. It's the same stuff as the Orwo NC400, NC500. And I'm not like offended by the fact that it's the same thing and that they just like repackaged it or whatever. I think what I'm offended by more than anything is the way they repackaged it, the way that they said vintage tones or whatever, because like that is a vapid thing. Vintage tones means nothing. That's not like a qualifying thing at all. That's not something that really makes any level of sense. It's just this vacuous nonsense statement that you can add to something to make it appear as though it has greater value. And that greater value is this undefined characteristic that, well, you know, vintage, right, bro? No, it's terrible. It's bad film. If I wanted to read hieroglyphics, I would break out my Welcome to Egyptology book. If I wanted to know more about starships and things like that, I would watch more SG-1. But I just finished it, so I'm going to wait a little bit till I revisit that show. I think that the ultimate complaint that I have with the Ilfocolor Vintage Tones film is the false bill of sales that they're selling. In 2025, I'm really pulling for Filmotech to do better and produce more consistent, more reliable, and better film stocks. The price point, too, of Ilfo-Color I just think is a real shame. For the same amount of money, you could get a roll of Ultramax, which is just... Its brakes are squealy. It's just a better roll of film. It really is. Ilfo-Color, worst film of the year. Going on a more positive note here, favorite film of the year has got to be Velvia 50. Man, oh man, do I adore this film. Words cannot express how lovely the film turned out. And I'm not a good photographer. Like, let's make no bones about that. I'm not a very good photographer, but wow, Velvia 50, it makes me feel like a good photographer. I take the photos, I get them back, and I'm just like, I'm genuinely impressed. I'm like, did I get my camera stolen? Did someone else take these photos? Like, that's how it makes me feel. Like, there's no way I could produce something this good. And they're not good photos. But like the colors, the detail, all of these things, all these like intangible factors make it appear as though they are good photos, even though they're not. It makes me think that they are. Truly a very special film. And whatever Fuji ends up doing with their time, whether that's making more film or stopping film production altogether, I will say that their slide film is something truly, truly special, and something that I feel genuinely honored to have the opportunity to use. If you can get your hands on some Velvia 50, highly recommend it. If not, I hate to say it, but you are missing out. It is truly wonderful. And now for the big one. All of the marbles. This is the important one. It really comes down to this. What is the best film camera of the year 2024? I could do a couple things here. I could cop out and just say Nikon F3, because ultimately every year that I shoot that, it's my favorite film camera of the year. I love that camera. Every time I pick it up and I use it, I'm just like reminded how good it truly is. It is an absolute treat. But I wanted to make this a little bit challenging. I wanted to say, what's the best film camera that I've shot for the first time this year? And there's still plenty of things on that list. For instance, the Leica M7, Pentax LX, Minolta SRT Super, Pentax 17, Pentax PC35AF. I've shot a lot of Pentax stuff for the first time this year, all of which were very nice. I think what I ultimately have to settle with is this, the Yashica Mat LM that I got recently. And there's a few reasons as to why this is the film camera of the year for me. One, since I got it, it has had film in it. Since I got it, I have shot with it. I've not been not using it, is the thing. And I have a lot of film cameras. I have a lot of medium format cameras, which I really like. I really enjoy my Mamiya C330. I really enjoy my Bronica. I really enjoy these cameras I have. But for whatever reason, I find myself continually grabbing the Yashica Mat. Anytime I'm leaving the house, I have it with me. Anytime I'm like going play, I bring it with me because I love, love, love shooting this camera. The optics are phenomenal. Yes, the slow speeds don't work. Yes, the leather's kind of chipping off a little bit. The front plate has a little bit of a wobble to it. The light meter doesn't really work all that much. Minor details, minor points against it. Even though it is an LM camera, the light meter shouldn't work, it's fine because I just have an app I use on my phone, whatever. But the size of it, the ease of use of it, the simple focusing system, the advanced system that's linked to the shutter charging, so I don't have to advance and charge the shutter independently from one another. How you have your dials on the top here that you can see your aperture and your shutter speed all in one go, making it so easy to select. And it truly reignited my passion for medium format. And I've always loved shooting medium format because that's really what I started out with. But just the idea of having this compact little camera that was $100, like under $100, that I could just take with me everywhere, it's like, why would I want to shoot anything else? For that reason, and for others, that's the camera of the year. An absolute treat. Something I really look forward to using for many years to come. So that's it. Those are the Bronco Awards for the year. Best camera of the year, Yashica LM. Worst camera of the year, Nana 35mm. Most improved, Kodak ProImage 100. Favorite film, Fuji Velvia 50. least favorite film, ilfo color, vintage tones, or whatever. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of my selections. Don't comment about my driving skills. They are phenomenal as far as you need to be concerned. Comment down below what you would have picked for any of those categories. I would love to hear from you as well. Maybe I will do a follow-up video on people's favorite film camera that they've shot this year. But genuinely let me know what you think. I would love to hear it. Again, except if you have any comments about my driving, keep that to yourself, okay? Typically, I reserve this time for talking to myself anyways. It just so happens to be the fact that I'm recording a video that hopefully performs well enough that I can, pay for my gas while I'm doing this. Although probably not, because gas is expensive. Anyway, I'm at a stop sign now, so this is as good a time as any to sign off. Thank you again for watching this video and for watching this year in general. I really appreciate the support. Remember to like the video if you enjoy it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. We've got a whole lot of stuff to kick off coming 2025, so jump aboard so you don't miss out on any of that. And yeah, catch you on the next one.